Hi, my name is Kayla Morrissey. Last summer, I conducted my research project with supervision from Dr. Nanya Gupta, and the title of it, as you can probably see on my poster, was Effects of a PT Program on Basketball Players. And specifically, we did a 6-week program, and it was on jump and agility performance in basketball players. So, as kind of an introduction, this isn't on my poster, but it's important background information on why this matters. So jumping ability is crucial for basketball players, as this is involved in shooting, rebounding, and blocking. Specifically, Hoffman et al. In 1996 found that vertical jump height is the strongest predictor of playing time for collegiate basketball players, which is obviously an important finding. If you can jump high, you're playing. So basketball players definitely want to improve their jump. Other researchers, Klinzig et al. In 1991 found that improving the jump can help increase shooting percentage and success in blocking and rebounding. So it helps you in all of these basketball-related skills. Plyometric training specifically has gained popularity, has been used as a tool to improve jump performance. So what plyometric training is, if you don't know, it's a type of training that involves eccentric loading immediately followed by concentric contraction. So plyometric training trains the stretch shortening cycle of the muscles and tendons, and it's been shown in many studies to increase their vertical jump performance, not only of basketball players, but of players of other sports as well. In addition, PT has been shown to improve agility and to also be good for injury prevention of athletes. So past studies have utilized more kind of simplistic PT programs with a limited number of exercises, maybe like 1, 2, 3 exercises. So our study aimed to assess kind of a more complex program that a coach or trainer would probably implement in the off-season for basketball players. So the aim, as you can see on the poster of this study, is to determine the effects of a 6-week plyometric training program on jump and agility performance in basketball players. So specifically, our hypothesis was that our PT program would help players improve in their vertical jump as well as agility. So that was our prediction. Our methods for this study. So our participant pool was a little bit small. We had 3 female Irish Super League basketball players participating in our study and 1 male university basketball player. So high-level players, average age of 23. So all participants received the plyometric training. We only had 4, so they all got the training, so there was no control group, unfortunately, for this study. So testing for this study occurred before the 6-week plyometric training period and after. And specifically what they were tested in was, so they were tested in the counter movement jump with arm swing. So what that is, and it's literally just using your legs as much as you can. You squat down, use your legs as much as you want, and then you jump as high as you can. So basically, jump as high as you can, use your legs as much as you can. We also utilize the squat jump. So in the squat jump, what we do is we tell the participants, you have to start from a neutral position, 90 degrees, and you have to pause here for about 3 seconds, and then you jump up as high as you can. So it removes that aspect of elasticity from the jump. Another type of jump test we did was the depth jump. So in the depth jump, the participants would step off of an 18-centimeter box. They would land right in front of it, and immediately they would jump as high as they could. So with this type of jump, we measured something called the reactive strength index. And what the reactive strength index is it's a ratio of jump height, so how high they're getting after they land and jump up. So it's a ratio of jump height to ground contact time, so how long they were really on the ground before they got up. And then our last test that we did was our modified agility drill, and that consisted of sprinting, shuffling back, and then sprinting again. So change of direction, just kind of testing agility. Another important thing to note for this section of methods is that we used OptiJump software. So this consisted of 2 bars, and what it did for us is it allowed us to analyze jump height as well as ground contact time for our reactive strength index. So, our actual PT program, it was 6 weeks long. Participants did the program 2 times per week, separated by 48 hours. So 1 time per week, I kind of instructed the session, I gave feedback, I coached them a little bit, and the other session, I was just there for supervision. So that allowed them to kind of carry over what they had done from the first session, learn what they needed to do, and then be able to implement it on their own, because in the real world, in their real training, they might be doing it on their own. So they had to carry that over to the second session per week. The program, so drills increase in intensity and complexity every week. And then some examples of exercises that you might know. We did skater jumps, we did line hops, box jumps, and tuck jumps were just a few of the exercises included, but there were many more along the way. So for our data analysis, we used paired t-tests. So it compared the individuals, how they did before the 6 weeks to how they did after, with the jumping, with the 3 different types of jumps, and the agility test. So for our results, after plyometric training, participants did not display any significant increases in jump height for any of the jump types. So we had counter movement jump, we had squat jump, and we had depth jump. And unfortunately, we did not see an increase in jump height after the plyometric training. But we did see that it trended that there was an increase in jump height. So while we didn't get significant results, that can't be expected with only 4 participants. So maybe if we had more participants, we would have seen that increase in jump height. So that was shown in figure 1. In figure 2, we see that participants did significantly improve their reactive strength index after training. And this was by actually a significant amount, by 22%. So during the depth jump, when participants would step off the box, and then they'd land and they'd pop back up and jump as high as they could. So the ratio of their jump height to their ground contact time was definitely improving after the plyometric training. And then in figure 3, finally we see that participants displayed no significant differences in agility time. So, to conclude, our 6-week plyometric training program helped basketball players improve their reactive strength index. And this is really important because they were minimizing their time on the ground while maximizing their time in the air. So they can pop right up if they need to react quickly and go up for a rebound or go up for a shot. They may be able to do so better now that they've had this plyometric training. They did not significantly improve their jump heights or agility times. In the future, for future research, our study should be modified and repeated with definitely a larger sample size. It's very hard to draw conclusions with only 4 participants, and unfortunately that's what we were stuck with in my study. So adding a larger sample size, maybe 15, 20 participants, then the results of this study might be more generalizable to other basketball players, to the whole population of basketball players. In addition, in the future, researchers may want to limit the participants' activity outside of the plyometric training. So in the study I conducted, the participants had to do the PT 2 times per week, but outside of that, they could really do any training they wanted. They could do basketball, they could lift, they could run, they could do anything. So we don't really know if our study specifically shows that plyometric training helps improve RSI or affect these other things. So in order to isolate the effects of plyometric training, maybe limit the outside activity. Finally, if researchers have access to a larger gym setting, it would be beneficial for the participants or any basketball players to conduct concurrent agility and plyometric training, because then we might see more improvements in agility in addition to the jumping. So for acknowledgements, I'd like to thank Dr. Ananya Gupta for supervising me and helping out with testing and just making sure I was on track throughout the process. I'd also like to thank a few of my classmates for helping out during testing as well, during preliminary testing. Definitely relied on them a little bit for that, so that was awesome for them. And finally, my references, so they can be found in my thesis paper itself. I was not able to include an introduction section on my poster with all the background information just for space, but my references can be found in my paper itself. So if you'd like to read about any of them, I can point you there. But thank you, and see you later.